Yo, what is going on, guys? Jordy back with another T3 video. Today, I'm going to be going over my Super Season 1 Vanguard tier list. I wanted to make a separate tier list video for each role. That way I can go just slightly more in depth and have it just be more focused on that role rather than making a super long video about every single hero in the game. I plan to do these role tier lists every single season, so stay tuned. We will be having the other roles come out very soon. But let's jump into it. Starting off in the D tier, we have Zero Kelvin. Now, Kelvin has been kind of lackluster lately. He used to be extremely prominent in the game when he was released back in Season 4. But they have done some tweaks and a couple of nerfs to him, and he has just slowly fallen all the way down the tier list, making him just not very viable in the meta right now. He doesn't really have any sort of shield. He has his snowball, and it is niche, but it kind of can miss its target sometimes. And you have to be like very accurate with it, so it doesn't really do much for you or the team. Not to mention, like I said, it's not really a shield. It's just kind of a snowball. So he doesn't have that output damage and also being able to soak up damage nearly as much as some of the other Vanguards on the list. His second ability allows him to turn into a snowman, and while you are in your snowman form, you are indestructible, you cannot be damaged, and it does heal you, but it really doesn't play into the whole Vanguard role. You kind of want to keep moving and have that constant pressure and kind of try to create space for your team rather than just be kind of selfish in a way and just kind of heal yourself and not really do much as far as getting into the fight or really even doing anything in that snowman form. So it makes it to where you're basically just kind of out of the fight for a few seconds. And even though it does heal you, it doesn't really benefit the team in any way. Also, he did get an ammo reduction from 120 down to 50 a couple of patch notes ago, and it just absolutely hurt his entire kit. It makes him not nearly as strong as he once was. You're constantly having to reload, and it's really hard to get those like cleanup kills. The only thing he really has going for him is his ultimate, and his ultimate does kind of have that sort of crowd control effect to allow you to create space. But even with his ultimate, it still is just pretty lackluster. It doesn't really do a whole lot, and he just doesn't really feel very good in the meta currently. So we leave him in D tier for now. Let's move on to C tier, where there actually isn't any heroes. So we're going to bump over to B tier. In B tier, we do have Victor. Now, if you guys have been a long-time viewer of the channel, you guys know that I do not like Victor at all. He's my least favorite hero in the game. However, he actually is shaping up to be really strong right now. He's one of the dive Vanguards that allows you to kind of dive into a situation or dive onto like a support hero and take them out with speed. He has that mobility. He has his dashes. His shotgun's fire rate is pretty quick, so you can actually take down some opponents pretty fast. And he does have his stun ultimate, which is actually pretty prominent with 5v5 specifically, and having all of the enemies kind of bunch up. You can kind of stun everyone all at once. So Victor is actually pretty interesting. I do like playing him with Neon now that we do have Neon in the game, because he has that mobility, and then she can just teleport to him and kind of keep going and single target him in a fight and just kind of like pocket heal him. Makes him pretty strong. The diving aspect is really good, and if he can pull off some pretty crazy plays, you can actually make a lot of space for your team. So Victor is actually pretty decent, but there is better options as far as dive Vanguards are concerned, which leads us into the A tier, starting things off with Fade. Now, Fade is the better dive Vanguard. He has basically everything that Victor does, but better. He can pin people with his charge, which, depending on the hero you pin, almost guarantees that you're going to kill them. A lot of heroes die to his whole like pin combo, where you can pin them into a wall and then hit them with a cannon and then pretty much get a cleanup kill. So that is strong in and of itself, being able to target out support heroes and kind of take them out of the fight. Also, with his new little bubble shield, you can actually protect your support heroes in a fight. So you can kind of pop it into the middle of all the chaos, and your supports can kind of just float inside that bubble, and it keeps them alive. It gives them a little bit extra shielding, and he can then just kind of go crazy, create space for your team, and make some big plays. And then, of course, his ultimate allows you to teleport people which in this very objective based sort of game types that we're looking at playing as far as, you know, control and 5v5, that's actually pretty prominent. You can teleport people off of the control point or even off of a cart and potentially secure victory with it. So it is pretty strong. Fade is a lot of fun. I've been playing him a ton, and I think that he's actually probably one of the best Vanguards in the game if you can get really, really strong with him. However, we are going into this sort of brawl, like shield Vanguard meta. And with that being said, the other A tier Vanguard is Fort. Now, Fort is one of those heroes that just gets up in the fight. He doesn't die. If you have some really strong support players, he pretty much is immortal. He stays up forever. He does a decent amount of damage, not as much as he used to when he was released, but he still does a decent amount of damage. And just the constant shielding, the constant fortifying with his 2 abilities, and he sits there on the point and he does his job. And then of course his ultimate is actually very, very strong and very combo oriented. You can kind of combo it with some of your other heroes on the team or your teammates and kind of push yourself to get some team wipes, which is super prominent because a very, very clutch team fight could actually end up winning you the game. So Fort is just like the unkillable monster on the point, and he just does his thing. He throws his shields, he fortifies himself, he gets the kills, and he just does not die. Fort is a very strong Vanguard, and I highly recommend you guys try him out. As for the S tier heroes, the best of the best when it comes to Vanguards, we're starting things off with the main shield man himself, Jabali. I don't think this was a surprise for any of you guys. Jabali is everywhere in the game currently. He has so much going for him, and he's actually just such a simple hero that is probably why he is so strong. He literally just sits on the point with his shield up, and that's what he does. He holds down that point or that cart, and he just does it with such ease because that's all he does. He does have his little electric things that he can throw across the ground, which are actually surprisingly really good and can pick up some really interesting and easy kills, especially if there's like a Johnny Jet on point or something like that. You can almost just like throw his little electric shockwave at Johnny and get up a free kill. His ammo capacity was changed from a long time ago in 3v3 where he had that 100 ammo. Now it is only 4, so you're constantly like reloading, but it is surprising how many kills you actually pick up with his gun. Not to mention the power of his ultimate just allows you to get those crazy, crazy team wipe kills, especially if you pair them with other ultimates on your team. He just does so much for you. He holds down that point. He gets the kills when he needs to, and he is just an absolute menace because he also does not die very easily. So Jabali is definitely deserving of the S tier. However, the other S tier Vanguard, and I don't know if this was a surprise or not, but it is Ruby. Ruby is still incredibly strong right now. She did get a nerf with the most recent patch notes to her main weapon damage, but it almost didn't really do anything. She can still get kills. She just doesn't do it nearly as fast as she once did. And that would have made her very overpowered if they didn't change anything. She does still nicely fit into the S tier, having her constant shields in 3 different directions that also helps her mitigate damage with her passive. And then her new second ability, which allows her to stun enemies. And you can actually do some pretty crazy, like across the map stuns with her, is just so strong. A very well-timed stun inside a fight is ridiculously helpful, and it just allows you to create space and do so much with Ruby. Her ultimate is also incredibly useful because it does either allow you to get those easy kills if you can catch people off guard or if it's timed well, or you can actually end up like pushing people away and making them run off the point when they hear that you pop your ult. So it's like a deterrent, but it's also potentially going to get you a kill, which could push a fight into your favor. So this is why Ruby is still S tier. She is still extremely prominent in the meta and a very, very solid pick. All right, guys, so here is the full tier list for the Vanguards of Super Season 1. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I will also be uploading the other roles throughout the next couple of days. I'm going to try to get the DPS one done today, as well as some of the other ones, and kind of get them started and hopefully have them uploaded as soon as possible. But let me know what you guys think of my tier list for the Vanguards. I think this is a pretty solid list and fits kind of what I've been seeing going around the meta. So I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe for daily T3 content, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace out, guys.